Hello and welcome to Ivory Creek Handmade. Today we're going to be making a sea salt soap, and this recipe is one that Simi from Muddy Mint kindly made available to those who have pre-ordered her amazing book. So if you'd like the recipe for this, definitely go on to the Muddy Mint website or their Instagram, and they will have details on how you can access it. I'm really excited to try this out. We've been wanting to do a sea salt soap for a while. I've tried a couple of times with not much success, so I'm excited about this. We're going to be using some Himalayan pink, fine pink salt, and I've got some salt set aside for the top, just a bit of decoration. And we're going to be very ambitious. I'm going to try and do two colors, so the ordinary batter, and I'm going to put a pink clay through it as well, so we'll see how that goes. And so I've just split the essential oil blend off into the two sections, and then I will split off some of the batter to make the pink layer and then have the white layer. And I think I'll just do drop swirls, not try to get too fancy because it is salt, so we'll see that, or it will just become an entirely pink soap because everything goes really fast on me. So come along. I won't break down the recipe. As I said, it's not my recipe to give, but hope you enjoy watching the creation and coming along and experimenting with us. As always, if you are getting value out of this or you enjoy the content, please feel free to like or subscribe to become part of our community. We'd love to see you. And any questions, put them in the comments and we'll get back to you. Socials are Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, and it's all the same at Ivory Creek Handmade, all one word. And we will hopefully see you soon. So I've added the lye solution to the oils, and I'm just checking to see if it's at emulsion yet. This is a recipe you probably do want to be able to go to a light trace, because you need to be able to ensure that when you add the salt it remains suspended and doesn't sink to the bottom. So we're at light trace right now. So you can, I don't know if you can see it, but see how it leaves a little bit of a trace as you wiggle it across, kind of like pancake batter. Alright, so I'm going to cut that there, just to make sure that we have enough time to do what we got to do to split it off and not go crazy on us. I don't get too finicky because I don't have the time, I don't think. So I put the clay in this one, pink clay in this one, in case I need to stick blend it. It's a bit easier than in the other bucket. Now it is thickening up, but we'll see how we go. Sometimes it feels a bit thick, but it loosens up as you mix it up. The trick is just not to let it sit too long without giving it a stir. Alright, so salt in this one first, just so I can weigh it out. Trying to make sure there's no clumps of salt, like that little guy. Wondering if I do an in the pot swirl. I think that might be the best, actually. Alright, there we go. As you can see, these have already been cut. Unfortunately, I did not get the video on cutting the soaps. I had it all set up and then got distracted and did not hit record. So, yay me. It was an interesting process from the perspective of waiting for it to go through gel and getting the sweet spot of time to cut it before it got too hard and crumbly. In the instructions that come with the recipe, it does say that it's highly recommended to CPOP it, or CP oven process, CPOP, in that heat, and forcing it through gel helps it release from the mold a lot easier and ensures it does go through gel evenly. Unfortunately, we've had renovations and we have no oven. So it was a matter of just keeping an eye on it to see the time frames we're looking at where we are. So Brisbane, Queensland, Australia is going to be a different climate and temperature to other parts of the world, and that has a little bit of a factor in how quickly things will tend to go through their paces to get them ready. So one thing I learned is if I do it again, I can probably leave it for about 2.5 hours and then check on it. But in summer, that will be probably less, being that it's more hot. So that was an interesting thing. So in the instructions, it's CPOP, leave it in there for a certain amount of time, take it out for a certain amount of time, and then it should be good to go. And I found I needed to wait probably nearly twice as long as what it said there because I couldn't oven process it. So I ended up getting a wheat pack or heat pack, throwing it in the microwave, and then putting the mold on top of the heat pack and putting blankets or a couple of towels over the top. And that helped with the process for sure. But what I ended up with was unmolding it. I would check the sides, and if you saw some of the soap starting to come away with the sides, I would pack it back because it wasn't ready. And as soon as it started to come away cleanly, then I went to unmold it. But I did notice the end pieces because they had not gone through full gel. So you can see there's no gel ring there. So they had not gone through full gel and they were super soft, like poking your fingers into it kind of soft. Whereas the middle was fully gelled. And yeah, so you can see that they've all gone through gel from the center. And yeah, so it's a bit rough on the ends because it was so soft when I was handling it. And it turned out that even though this was really soft and almost too soft to handle on the ends, if I had have waited any longer, the middle would have been too hard to cut. It would have been too late. So as I was cutting through probably this section, you could feel it start to get a tiny bit crumbly, which means you're right on that point of no return. So that's just some of the things I learned in this process, and something that next time I make this, because I'll definitely make it again, these are the ones that I put in the individual molds with a little bit of decoration, so a little bit of salt in the bottom. They just turned out absolutely beautiful. So I'll definitely make it again for sure. And getting the sweet spot in time to be able to cut it while it's not too soft but also not crumbly. I think for us will probably be about 2.5 hours, and then check 15-minute increments after that just to get it in time. So yes, it was fun. I started a bit late in the day and it made for a late evening of worry because I didn't want it to get too hard to cut and for it all to be a waste. So they've just turned out beautifully. I don't know if it's picking up that little change in color from the pink clay we used. I have a habit of using either too much pink clay and it comes out really, really dark, or too little and you can hardly see it. One day I will find the right amount. But yeah, so they're just, yeah, beautiful. They smell great. The essential oil blend that comes with the recipe is just beautiful. So yes, that is how they turned out, and I hope those insights will help other people that haven't done salt soaps before and have taken the jump to a loaf mold instead of the cavity molds, because yeah, I think it's definitely learning how your climate and your individual circumstances at the time you make it will affect how it all turns out. So, like if it's a super rainy day and it's cold versus a really dry midsummer, really hot day, it'll all sort of make a difference. But yes, so sorry I didn't have the cut video, but hopefully this has been a bit of a worthwhile replacement for that. Any questions, throw them in the comments. As I said, this is not my recipe, so I'm following a recipe from another amazing soaper, Simi from Muddy Mint. And yes, so I would recommend, if you have any questions about salt soaps, definitely hit her up because she will definitely know. She's got a book that's coming out, so if you're in Australia and you're wanting to get your hands on Simi's, I think it's Natural Soap Making Handbook, then I would recommend going to the American Amazon. I don't believe you can get it on the Australian Amazon. I tried and it kind of come up as unavailable, but you go to the American Amazon and it gives you the option of Kindle or paperback. So yeah, it's definitely worth hitting up Amazon. Any questions about the book, you can definitely go onto the website and they'll have details around how to access it. And I believe it comes out end of the month, but for us in Australia it will probably be around 11th of June, I think the dates were. But yes, definitely worth it. She is amazing with essential oils and natural like colorants and botanicals and things like that in her soaps, because that was kind of their jam. So that's what they did, and that's what they did well. So definitely worthwhile hitting that up. And feel free to send me any questions. If I can help, I will. If I don't know the answer, I'll try to find it for you or point you in the right direction. So yes. Anyway, anywho, thank you for getting this far in the video, and thank you for taking the time to join us as we experiment with the new type of soap making. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.